29 seconds into unleashing Mr. Darcy, there was a factual error, and it really irritated me and didn't put me in the best of moods. But I tried to go through with the rest of the film with an open mind, and unfortunately there are too many really irritating things about this, and it's a shame because I was really looking forward to this. This is a Hallmark film from 2016. It's directed by David Winning, and it's written by Teena Booth based on the novel by Teri Wilson, and we have a cast including Cindy Busby as Elizabeth and Ryan Paevey as Donovan Darcy. And I will in a second tell you what that factual error was. I will say, it didn't actually affect my judgment of the rest of the film, but it's not a good look to have an error 29 seconds into your film. And I went in with an open mind, the narrative sounded adorable, but it just annoyed me so much. There are annoying things about the narrative, and there are many annoying characters. Because Elizabeth is a teacher at a school, and I'll come back to that in a second, and an allegation is made against her. And that part really infuriated me because the school basically went, we're going to have to let you go. And she just kind of went, can I say goodbye to my students? I would be enraged if somebody made a false allegation like this against me. I won't go into too much of the background. I won't give away what the allegation was. But I don't believe that it was handled in a very believable or realistic way. And because she's lost this job, she takes a job as a handler, as a dog handler, and she ends up working with these adorable puppies. We have this gorgeous Cavalier King Charles Spaniel and several of them, and they're just so precious. And she ends up spending a lot of time with Donovan Darcy. And they actually meet initially at a dog show. He's the judge of this dog show, and he's not very friendly. He doesn't smile a lot. He basically rubs Elizabeth up the wrong way. So they don't get off to the best of starts. But obviously, as they spend time together, they open up to each other and things get a little bit easier between them. And yeah, I liked them as leading protagonists. I thought they worked really well together. I liked both of the characters from the beginning, so there were no problems there. But there are so many other nasty, snooty characters in this that I just got so irritated. And not in a kind of, I hate you, I can't wait to see you get your comeuppance kind of way. I just got really disgusted by them, and it made it really horrible to watch because there are too many horrible characters. There are too many negative influences on the narrative. Characters involved in different parts of the story, obviously with the dog handling, and then we have some vile characters who made the false accusations at the school, and there are just too many antagonists for me to find this to be an enjoyable experience. One would have been enough. We didn't need that many. I think they were trying too hard, and it just meant that it was kind of infuriating. And I will now, of course, tell you what the factual error was at the beginning. So Elizabeth is teaching her class, and 29 seconds in, she says, she's talking about Queen Victoria, and she says, imagine growing up in a big castle, alone most of the time, and then suddenly, at only 18 years old, you're crowned the next Queen of England. Queen Victoria never grew up in a castle. She grew up in a palace, specifically Kensington Palace, and that may seem like a petty thing to get irritated by, but as I said, it was 29 seconds in. If you're going to not introduce errors, try and not introduce them within the first 29 seconds. It's such an easy thing to fact check, and I just find it so hard to believe that not one person working on that film knew that Queen Victoria didn't grow up in a castle. It annoyed me so much. Speaking as a British person, as a person who's been to Kensington Palace, and I rather enjoyed it if you get the chance to visit it, thoroughly recommend it. Really, really beautiful. It just irritated me so much. Had it been buried in the middle of the film, yeah, it would have annoyed me, but who cares? It's halfway through the film by that point. I've made my opinions. But it's the same as having a typing error on the first page of a novel. It's not a good look. It shows a distinct lack of care to detail. And that is exactly how things started. And as I said, I did watch the rest of the film with an open mind. I didn't let it affect my opinion. But unfortunately, there are too many other things about this that are irritating. Mostly some of the characters' actions, how Elizabeth responded to being let go because of the allegations. And there are too many disgusting antagonists that meant that most of the time there was at least one person or one thing annoying me in pretty much every scene. And it's such a shame because this sounded like a really lovely film. Gorgeous, gorgeous dogs, a premise that could have worked really well. And unfortunately, it's poorly handled. They tried too hard to make them too many antagonists and to cause too many problems. And I don't believe a lot of the characters' actions. I didn't like a lot of the characters. I know some of them are not meant to be liked, but it's too frequent. And giving a factual error 29 seconds into the film just shows a lack of care and a lack of attention to detail. And it's not a good look. Unleashing Mr. Darcy. I should point out as well, if that was the only thing wrong with this, I would probably still be giving it a glowing review. I love Hallmark films. I'm very easily pleased with Hallmark films. And with this one, I'm barely even slightly pleased. Unleashing Mr. Darcy sounded great, but unfortunately, the adorable dogs aside, the execution is pretty poor.